Washington football team week 1 versus the LA Chargers. And Todd, we have our first result of our week 1 game, of the first game of the season. It is the Chargers 20 and your Washington football team 16. Todd, we've seen a lot of good things, a lot of very, very bad things. How you feeling after today's game?
So frustrated because they could have won that game. And I'm apologizing in advance if my audio isn't great. Can you hear the cars on?
A little
or the
bit.
air or anything? How's that?
That's better.
Okay. I am so frustrated because they had so much momentum. They had all the momentum. They got the fumble out of the end zone. Boom. Couldn't get anything off of that. And then they got the interception. And then after the interception, like the momentum was gone. After the Gibson fumble, like that was it. I don't have all the numbers in front of me, so I can't give you any stats or anything. I don't have anything. This is like an immediate just reaction of our feelings. But like they literally gave the game away. They gave it away. The Gibson fumble, the Brandon Sheriff penalty, Adam Humphries penalty, the 3rd and 16 conversion the defense allowed. It's just so annoying. So that's how I'm feeling. How are you feeling?
I'm kind of bummed just the way we lost. It's like
right, because it wasn't like out of reach.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's just a third. Like we had momentum, and like we could have went up that false start when we were up 16 to
13.
16-13, and we got the ball. We just got the pick, and then it's just I'm just bummed. Like that one hurt because we had that game, and then that fumble right there in our end zone, pretty much. It was a couple things.
They literally gave the game away. Their second half team, and that third quarter was their second half team nature, and then the fourth quarter just completely flipped.
Yep.
And so, you want to go just ping pong things back and forth, just talking points. Again, I don't have the stats, but let's just talk about a player or a decision or a play back and forth. And
Okay.
You want to go first? You want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first. Obviously, I got to catch the tail end of the first quarter, and I watched it while driving. But a couple things that I saw while I was seeing what I was seeing from the beginning of the game was that Herbert, the third downs were just atrocious, man. We were getting
that's one that I have 14 of 18 on third downs.
14 of 18. Like that is just terrible, man. I like, come on. That cannot happen. That just cannot happen.
They were just running they were either running zone blitzes, which they like to run, or just soft zones. And Herbert is just so in sync with his receivers, with Keenan Allen especially. And there wasn't enough pressure either. So 14 of 18 on third downs. And the crazy thing, so that was so you were talking about third downs mainly, right? Okay. 14 of 18 third downs. The crazy thing about it is the defense gave up only 20, and 7 of that came from they were set up at the 3-yard line.
Yep.
And then the other one of those third downs should have been a 3rd and 10. It was a 3rd and 5 that they gave up in their first drive. And so it's like it's weird because the defense they didn't play well to me. They should be able to play so much better, but at the same time, giving up 14 of 18 third downs, you only gave up 20 points, and 7 of that was because of a fumble, and even that you put them again at third down. So, but at the end of that means I guess what I'm trying to say is if they give up 20 points, allowing 14 of 18 third downs, then that means if it was a normal conversion rate like 9 of 18, or a bad conversion rate like 6 of 18, they would have given up like 7 points.
Exactly.
That's how significant those third downs were.
Huge.
So I think for me, my point is just the defense. I'm confused because at the end of the day, for me, that last drive is what is the decider. For anything that happened before that, I can forgive that because 20 points to give up against the Chargers is not bad to me.
Yeah.
But the 3rd and 16 you gave up in a huge spot where they were on our side of the field, and so if they punt the ball, you have good field position, and they're only up by up by 4. Was it 20-16? They lost 20-16. Yeah. So you have good field position, and you have the potential to score a touchdown and go up, and you give that up, and then you get 3 more third down. Was it 3 or 4 more?
How
many total? 4 total, right?
Oh, yeah, 4 total that drive, yeah.
4 third downs, and you gave all of them up. That's ridiculous. Like, you're not a big money defense. You're not a top 5 defense doing that. And so, like I said, I think they have potential. They need to clean it up because Herbert was not the best they're gonna play. I don't even know like ultimately how good Herbert is compared to Mahomes. He might be on that level. He might be way below. And if he's way below and as good as he is, because he's great. But if he's way below Mahomes and Brady, we have to play Mahomes and Brady and Rodgers.
Right.
If Herbert could convert 3rd and 16, then I'm sure the rest of them can. So the defense is the main takeaway. One of the takeaways for me. Just I'm like confused, but it's annoying.
Yeah. Another thing I was the defensive line. Where were you at?
Didn't show up.
It's like
Rashawn Slater
killing it.
Rashawn Slater, he won today's matchup. He's 2 for 2 against Chase Young.
Yes, and that's terrible.
Yeah, the defense like that can't happen against. It can't happen every week, period. But if it happens against these best quarterbacks, the defensive line's not showing up. It's going to be a long season.
I mean, they had plenty of opportunities to get them off the field, and you shouldn't have to generate with a defensive line that good. You should be able to only have to send 5. Apparently, they were trying to do these zone blitzes, and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Sweat, I give Sweat props. He played a heck of a game. Chase, a little disappointing. Chase, I felt like he had his flash plays here and there, but I think they're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I'm gonna point one thing out, small thing I hated on that first drive. It was 3rd and 10, and James Smith-Williams committed the neutral zone infraction. James Smith-Williams out there on 3rd and 10. No, thank you. James Smith-Williams, Casey Tuhill, Shaka Tony. No, I don't know. I know they rotate these guys in and out. I know they try to keep them fresh. 3rd and long, it needs to be your 2 big money guys. Yeah. It needs to be your 2 big money guys. I'm gonna keep. I think. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next because I'm still like very frustrated. I wanted to ask you about the decision. Okay, so no, before that, Dustin Hopkins, he was 3 of 4 on field goals, right? And ultimately, I guess it didn't matter. I mean, it did matter, but the 51-yarder, that was a big one because for 2 reasons. One, you gave him good field position, right? I don't think they scored a field goal on that drive.
Yep.
No. That was the drive they scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened after that. After the missed field goal, actually, I don't think.
No, after the missed field goal, they
didn't score. We got the interception. They were driving. Right. I think. Right. I think. Sorry, I got to watch the game. It's but so you missed the field goal, and they're driving. They're about to score. Then you get the turnover. So that field goal was big, one because of the field position, 2 because 51. Sure that's on the longer end, but that's not that long. You need to be able to hit that. But 3rd because 19 to 20 ultimately in the end is a big difference. If the defense did get a stop, 19 to 20 is a big difference from 16 to 20.
Yeah.
He made 3 or 4, but that one at the end that really mattered.
Yeah.
I mean, the most that it didn't matter in the end because the defense didn't give him that chance, but like, come on now. Come on. Like 51, you gotta be able to hit that.
Yeah, you have to. I just think I think he played better than what I expected. So I do give him that.
He did.
I didn't think he was going to make a couple of those field goals. So the fact that he made 2 big ones, that's fine. But you absolutely have to make that. And then I'm going to go ahead on the flip side with Gibson. Man, he was carrying the ball loose all stinking day.
Yeah, he was.
And
he had another fumble too.
My thing is, why do you get out? First of all, William Jackson, did he run after he got the pick? Maybe he should have just sat down.
He wasn't in the end zone. It just took him right out of bounds. The pick took him out of bounds.
See, I think you got to have more awareness, right? I mean, it's good to have a pick right there, but I don't know. I just knew something was shaky right there at the 2-yard line. That whole situation frustrated me because it worked out in their favor.
I need to watch back and see. I mean, I think maybe the free defender on the end, one of the cornerbacks. I'm trying to figure out exactly why. It may not have been a missed block. It may have just been the way the play went and the way the defense was aligned. But there was no reason for him to fumble the ball there. No one even hit the ball. Mm-hmm. He was just holding it too loose. That's ultimately the reason. If I have to point to one main reason that they lost, that's it. Because maybe the Chargers wouldn't have scored again otherwise because they didn't. They didn't score other than getting the ball at the 3-yard line, and it still took the 3rd and goal.
Yeah.
And really, honestly, tight coverage by Ben St. Juste, which, I mean, he's a rookie against Mike Williams. That's a matchup in their favor. It happens. That fumble, and then for Gibson to fumble up, follow up the fumble on the next drive and drop the first down when he had room to run, and then get hurt a couple plays later, a little banged up. I'm going to talk about the penalties because the holding by Sheriff was big. They overcame it, but it was still big. He's an $18 million guard. He's all pro. And then later on the drive, on 3rd and 5, you false start in the huddle. The quarterback says on whatever. You know, everyone else knew. You're the only one moving. You've been here the longest out of all these players on offense, and you're getting $18 million a year. It's 3rd and 5 and a tight game in the 4th quarter, and you're jumping? That doesn't make sense. There's a big difference between 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 10. There's a huge difference. That was massive. That's what turned it into a 51-yard field goal. But I think that's a conversion. Otherwise, I think there's a really good chance that there's bugs flying around. I'm in the car safe. So there's a big difference. I expect more from Brandon Sheriff. I don't care. I know players are allowed to make mistakes, but when you're a guard and you're making $18 million a year and you've been on this team for the longest and you're the oldest on offense, I think, or one of the oldest, just you're not the one supposed to be making those mistakes. The rookie right next to you should be making those mistakes.
Exactly.
Why are you the one making mistakes? That's extremely. That's my mini rant on Brandon Sheriff, who I already don't have the most positive feelings on and have it for a while now. And then for him to come out and then have the holding penalty and the false start, it's so frustrating. Yeah. So I don't really know what all. I just hit on the penalties. That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I would say the penalties on us as well, but we did get our fair share. I'm talking about the ones like the face mask on Antonio Gibson, and
they don't usually call that.
They don't.
I mean, whatever.
So that, I don't know. I could complain about that, but the refs also gave us a fluke kind of fumble that went into the end zone as well. So
yeah, that was kind of fluke. I mean, yeah, it did make a difference.
It made
that was the drive with the Sheriff penalties. I'm pretty sure, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Fumble, right? So again, even if you overcome the 2nd and 20, it still throws things off. You took literally like 10 steps back, to recover it. You just. Yeah. Sorry. Did you hit something?
I was gonna say, what's gonna happen with the quarterback?
Right. That's what I was gonna go to next if you didn't. So here's the first thing I'll say, and this is the one positive thing about our quarterback room. It's like, if you have 2 cars and one of them is, I don't want to say anything disrespectful to anybody's cars. It's not disrespectful. Let's say that Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's like a 2011 Honda Civic. He's in good shape. He's going to get you where he's going. He's easy to fix. Like, he's going to get the job done. Taylor Heinicke's a 2010 Honda Civic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, that's a good thing because the drop-off is not significant, and we saw that, obviously. Everyone may have their thoughts. I think Heinicke, if given the chance, if the defense gave him the ball, would have given them a chance. That's the good thing. The bad thing is that I don't want an 11 Honda Civic. I want it sport with all the bells and whistles, right? So that's the good thing. We don't know what will happen with quarterback, but there's not a ton to worry about because going from Fitzpatrick to Heinicke and then probably from Heinicke to Allen is not significant. I don't think either way, but the one thing it does is it shows you, like, first of all, our quarterback is 39. Starting quarterback. So it'd be surprising that he got hurt in the first half of the first game. Right. And it just goes to show that it's still a problem.
Yeah.
It's still a huge problem. I don't know how much it could affect the outcome of the season again, because I think it's so much equality in that room, but I don't know what's going to happen, man. I don't know. He walked off. I guess that's good, and walked out. But
yeah. I mean, the Texans won, by the way, I believe. They were so.
What'd you say?
The Texans
won, right? I didn't think I forgot they play the Jaguars twice a year. If I remembered that, I would have said they're not winning more than 2 games a year.
And, I mean, this I don't know. We have to bounce back against a Giants team who's not going to be bad.
Do you know their score right? Do they win?
No, they're playing right now 4-25 against Denver.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. They're about to start. Okay.
Philly won. I mean, they played against a weak Atlanta team though. So, but they still won. But
They won, yeah, they won. So it's like this would be a big one because again, like you said, if you won today and then you go on Thursday against a Giants team that is not as good as this Chargers team and you
yep.
beat them, you're 2-0. A little Marvin Sapp sort of play. Google Marvin Sapp if you don't know. But you're 2-0 5 games into the season. That's major.
Huge.
And I'm not like I want to point out that I am not one to overreact. Now, I know we all have our moments. I know Rio had his moment during the game. Rio had his moment in the first half. You had a quick moment, Tay. It was quick, but you bounced back. I don't take highs and lows this early in the season. I don't ride them as high or as low as they go because it's just too early. I mean,
right.
we more than any year last year saw that. So I'm not going to make any overwhelming conclusions about this team after this game because they could have won. They just needed to not make so many mistakes. Even with their quarterback problems, they still could have won. So it doesn't really tell me. Today's game doesn't really tell me anything about the team. It really just tells me the defense needs to be better on third downs.
Right.
And the offense needs to not have so many penalties and turnovers at like the 5-yard line. Yeah. That's the main takeaway for me in terms of long term. But it didn't tell me anything one way. If they would have got blown out or if they blew somebody out, it still would have been the same for me. Like you just have to stay level. You still can't say same old Washington because it's again still every team loses games. Yeah. So you know what I mean? I want to talk about Taylor Heinicke because he did come in and play well. Like he came in right before the half, had a 3-and-out. Okay. But second half he led him down the field. After that, every other player on the team was holding back. You had the penalties, you had the fumble, and then the defense just didn't want him to get the ball again. I'm telling you, the defense got to stop on 3rd and 16. Offense get the ball at the 35, the 40. There's no reason to think Heinicke's not giving you a good chance to score. I thought he played well, and I like that he pretty much protected himself. One run on 3rd and long that he didn't, and I get what he was trying to do, but man, his value is more so long term than one win. I'd rather lose one game and him stay healthy with the chance to win other games than lose or win a game and he gets hurt, right. And then who knows what the future will hold. I don't know. Right. What do you think about Heinicke? He was like, I think 11 for 15, 120 yards, something like that.
Yeah, Heinicke, man, he's a baller, you know.
That's a great word. That little pitch to Terry on 2nd and 20 or whatever it was. 1st and 20. Yeah, he's a baller.
So I thought he played well. I thought he had good understanding of the pocket. I love that he steps up. I trust him in the pocket. I love the fact that he can run. He did very, very well on the 2-minute drill. Well, 49 seconds left or 39 seconds left in the end.
Yeah, right, to get to the field goal range. That was huge. That was huge. Yeah, and this huge thing flying around the car. That was huge. And I mean, like I said, you just look at his second half drives and like, I'm gonna watch the game back as soon as I can. But I mean, in the second half, he led them on a touchdown drive to take the lead, right? And then the only drives I remember after that, you got the fumble, and then that drive was the penalties, I believe, and then you got the interception, and then that was the fumble, and then you had the other drive, and then you had the next drive with the Adam Humphries, the Gibson drop, the Adam Humphries drop, the Adam Humphries penalty. Yep. And then you have 4th and 7, and that's my next question for you. What did you think about the decision to punt on 4th and 7? Because I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah. Let
me ask your first question. My first question: would you have kicked a field goal?
No.
Okay. All right. I don't think so either.
No. My ideology, my myth is, and
philosophy.
Philosophy, yeah, is. Personally, I would have went for it.
I thought he was.
And then because look on the plus side of that, if you would have went for it, they would have been at the 50, so they would have kicked the field goal quicker than if you would have punted the ball and they went
right
to the field, and then time is milking. So yeah, I would have went for it and then let them get it at the 50 or whatever,
right,
wherever they were at. And then let them go because then it's a shorter field. Yeah, you could say they could score, but then they will be opt to kick a field goal quicker than continue to drive the length of the field. So I would have went for it on 4th and 7.
Yeah, so that's my I like your philosophy matches mine. Field goal is the one thing I wouldn't have done. The field goal provides you with the least advantage, in my opinion. You look at it like between punting and kicking the field goal, they didn't get the ball back. So kicking the field goal is like you kick it, but then you don't get the ball back. You trust your defense. So I'm fine with not kicking the field goal. I would have gone for it. Now, Ron Rivera's that coach. I get what he's thinking. I'll give him this, Tay. You down him. You down him at the 7 originally. I believe it was down at the 7. Again, the team is crumbling. They crumbled today. If they down him at the 7, then they have a holding penalty or blocking the back or something on the punt after the false start on the punt. So you just all these penalties. Now they're not at the 7 anymore. They're at the 17, which is another part of their crumble. But then even still, he punted the ball because he trusts his defense to get the stop. Right. And I can't fault Rivera for that. You should trust them, 1, because of their talent, but 2, because they had proven an ability to get stops in this game. They gave up a touchdown on the first drive. The only other touchdown they gave up was after Gibson fumbled at the 3-yard line. Yep. They gave up 2 field goals. They let them drive, and they got 2 turnovers. So I can understand Rivera saying, I trust my defense to get a stop and give my offense another chance.
Right.
I get that philosophy. I don't hate that. So I'm not questioning his decision. I think I would have gone for it personally, just because, again, Taylor Heinicke is that baller, and because Heinicke can move, it gives you 2 ways to get it now. Not only 2 ways, but you're going to throw the ball, of course. But if that doesn't work out, then you have a guy who can extend the play, who can run if he has to. Maybe you'll get a penalty in your favor or something. Obviously things can go wrong too. I'm just saying. I thought that Rivera was going to go for it. I don't think too many people would have faulted him for going for it. But I get the idea behind punting, and then the defense just failed. They made him look bad at that point because if he punts the ball, the defense gets that stop on 3rd and 16. Great decision, Ron. Right. Great decision, right? And that's what should have happened. So I can't really fault him for it. I can't fault him. And they should have been at the 7 instead of the 17. So it's just I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about it. I have mixed feelings about it, but I'm not mad. I get it. If we had even if the defense had been playing poorly all game, they had been giving up the 3rd down. So if you want to consider that, sure. But at the end of the day, the Chargers scored first drive. They scored a touchdown on their first drive, and then other than that, the defense was doing what they had to do. They were bending, not breaking. Yeah, and I'll take that. They were. So would you say, like how do you feel about the defensive performance? It wasn't a bad start to me, if I have to be honest. The 3rd downs were horrible, but a bad start to me would have been, instead of those 2 field goals they held them to, they scored touchdowns, and instead of those 2 turnovers they scored touchdowns.
Yeah, I would give it honestly, I give them a B because obviously the 3rd downs hurt a lot, but I just question the play call in there at the end. I would like to see some man.
I want to see some man blitzes. I want to see man, and I want to see your best cornerback on their best receiver.
Exactly. So I think they're going to clean some stuff up. They're going to have to figure out next week, because the Giants aren't going to be easy. Now, granted, this Chargers team is very, very good. So
they are. This Chargers team could easily win 11 games if you ask me.
Yeah. So
with Herbert playing the way he plays, good Lord, that guy is good. He is really good. And I just didn't like how many times guys were just wide open in the middle of zones. That was just so frustrating. That 3rd and 16 was way too easy. That's the thing. It's not like they got pressure and then he escaped and then he, it was a scramble drill. It was the play exactly as it was designed. Drop back, hits the top of his drop. Allen's wide open, throw it to him, 1st down. Like, come on. I can't get too technical with too many players because I got to watch the game back. William Jackson was a little up and down, but he made plays. He had his opportunity. He got the pick. He had a couple, so I'm not mad at William Jackson. Kendall Fuller get benched? Did Kendall Fuller get benched?
That's what I hear.
I got to look into that. I wasn't on Twitter much, so I don't know. Kendall Fuller might have got benched. I don't want to see McTyer on Keenan Allen. I don't want, St. Juice, they gave him a lot of responsibility. St. Juice played exactly how I'd expect a 3rd-round rookie to play in his first game. I'm not going to fault him for anything. I didn't get a good look at Jamin Davis or the defense, because you essentially watch for that. And when the defense is on the field, I'm watching the Chargers offense. I'm not really watching our defense, so I got to watch it back. So okay, let's who I guess, or do you have any other talking points?
I guess I would say, no. I don't think I have any other talking points other than the fact Jamin Davis really wasn't. He
He didn't
didn't hit.
stand out in any
Yeah,
way,
it didn't stand out. So
which is like good and bad.
yeah, which is good and bad. I know they had Bostic out there covering Eckler in the slot a couple times or out wide.
Well,
Didn't
I
like
hate
that at
that.
all. Now
Hate
they
that.
granted they didn't take advantage of that.
Yeah,
They
but
should. Um,
that's disgusting.
De'Ami Brown played big.
Yeah,
Uh,
I need to see him. I need him to stop double catching the ball so much, but
yeah, yeah,
he did. I mean, he got open on that one where it was pass interference. If Fitzpatrick got to the all 22 on that, he it looked like he hesitated and then he threw it and didn't get all the way there. If it either got all the way there or if he maybe didn't hesitate, that's your bomb to Diami.
yeah.
We've gone too long without talking about Terry McLaurin's insane
Oh my
catch.
goodness. Oh my.
Insane catch. Terry needs to be more involved. That is the last thing I want to touch on is Scott Turner and the game that he called. Because I didn't think it was bad. I just think the bad calls stand out because they lost and it was a tight game. After the horse collar and face mask offsetting penalties, they ran a very similar type of play right after, and I just think that was a mistake.
Yeah,
Maybe that's hindsight, but it was, you had the jet action and then you handed it off again. And to be fair, it had been working, but somehow I think Covington, I believe, I got to see who let him in the backfield, but he was in the backfield. And then that's when the 3rd and 5 happened. And that's when the 3rd and 10 happened. So I didn't love that play call. There was another one, but I can't remember it. But I didn't think Scott Turner called a bad game, but I still got
right.
to watch the first half back. I mean, I watched the whole game, but I really got to watch the first half back. So, but I mean that's it for me. But I mean the positives. The positives I would hit on Terry McLaurin and his catch. The quarterback play was not terrible. Heinicke was fine. If you give Heinicke time, he'll find guys. He'll get them the ball. Cosme did pretty well against Bosa.
Yeah,
Cosme
he
did pretty
did.
well against Bosa. I guess I'll give Hopkins 3 out of 4 kicks something of a nod. And then Jarrett Patterson had a couple good runs, but the one good one he had got called back by the holding on Sheriff.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm going to be overly optimistic. I'm just looking at a picture now on Twitter with Bostic and Holcomb walking in with Antonio Gibson. Apparently, he had his hand around him. As John Kahn tweets, he had his hand around him and walked off. But Bostic came over to talk to him as well. Gibson had the killer fumble, but the D couldn't stop them on 3rd down.
Yeah.
I just think this is a type of loss where it's like, all right, let's not beat ourselves
Maybe
up.
need this loss.
Yeah. Maybe we needed it.
Yeah.
We're off.
Some losses can be beneficial.
Yep.
Right.
We're not as good as we think we are. We're gonna have to come to work. So
right.
I just hope that it builds them together and like, look,
yeah,
right, we got a game. We got a big. We win Thursday. If we win Thursday night, that's bigger than this game. It's a division game, so it counts as 2 pretty much.
And it's a division and NFC. You're right. If there's a game to lose, it's against your AFC opponents.
Exactly.
Because they're tiebreakers and that sort of thing. That is a good point. And then you have that momentum going into the Bills game, which is a big one. Yeah. Because they're good. They're a very good team. I mean, that's good. You made a good point. Sometimes those losses early on can help, and then seeing what they have to clean up specifically. And then on defense, getting it figured out because they were not terrible, but that last drive was terrible.
Yeah, but you said they held them to 20, and I mean really 13.
Yeah, right, exactly.
A good offense that a Cowboys team is going to play next week. So,
right.
Well, I'm trying not to overreact. We had it though. We really had it.
They did have it. They had it. They had so much momentum.
Oh my god! And Herbert is the real. Oh, another thing, Carter. Love him on kickoff and punt return.
I love that. I love him on kickoffs and punts. He just takes it and goes. Golly, this is what real punt returners like because I'm so used to Steven Sims dancing. I forgot what it looks like. He gets it and he goes. And it's not about the big returns. He gets 5, 10, 15 yards, but he just goes. He doesn't hesitate. I love that. That's a good point. That's your guy.
So other than that, man, I don't know what else. I guess we get back and do another review maybe on Tuesday and then hit the ground running on Wednesday. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Tough loss, but you can see the potential there. And then, I mean, we don't know what this injury is like for Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know how these hip injuries work, but I mean, if I'm guessing, just now I'd guess we're going to see Taylor Heinicke on Thursday. And so at least we know he can get it done.
Yeah.
So we'll be back. As always, check out our sponsors, Hot Chikn Kitchn. Check out Diligent by Done Pro. Get your credit fixed. We'll be back here soon. And tough loss, we'll bounce back and try not to take too high or too low one way or the other. Let's wait till about week 6 before we start doing that. Figure out exactly what this team is. So I'm Todd.
This is Tay.
Thanks for watching. On to week 2.